Hello and welcome to LAKERLAND, where you hear some thoughts from some Laker fans. I am Christian. Alongside of me is my left-hand man, Matt. What's going on, bro?
Another Lakers dub, feeling great. Regular.
Facts. So as we record this, we are recording this. Well, it just hit midnight now, but we are recording this fresh off of the Cavaliers dub. LeBron went absolutely nuts. I don't know what to tell you otherwise than that. Today, we're actually going to do something different. We're not going to talk about the Lakers game at all. What I really want to discuss, because as it just approaches midnight, it is officially 1 year since we lost the late, great Bean Man himself, Kobe Bryant, and of course, Gianna Bryant, in that tragic day that happened January 26th of 2020. That really was like the precursor to a shit year, and it all started there. But in today's video, I don't want to really reflect too much about that day. What I do want to do is celebrate Kobe Bryant. So me and Matt, we're gonna go ahead and cover everything that we've experienced with the man himself, the GOAT, the greatest NBA player in my eyes of all time, Kobe Bean Bryant. So with that being said, Matt, I sent you a list earlier. Let's kick it off with your first memory of Kobe Bryant.
And bro, that question type messed me up, bro. Cause think about it. I feel like for our age group specifically, like Kobe was throughout like our whole lifetime. Like he was playing throughout our whole lifetime. And I feel like I can't even remember when my first exact memory of Kobe Bryant, because I was so young. Like, exactly when I was like, I started playing basketball like when I was 6, 7, 8 ish, around that. And like around the first time I started playing basketball, I mean, I was watching sports in my house forever, right? And Kobe Bryant was just that name that, if you were a kid, you're gonna hear all the time. Like, so that was like just name recognition off rip. And then like, grew up in PA, so like I had this type of just loyalty to this, like, I don't know, because my first player, honestly, my first favorite player was like Allen Iverson, because he played for the Sixers, and living in PA, like he's that guy. He was that guy at the time. But then like I remember when I first started actually watching basketball for myself, Kobe, when he played the Sixers, I remember him frying them bad, and I was like, nah, Kobe's different. So then I started looking into Kobe a little more. I was like, nah, his history is actually type fire. He from PA, like he's really like that. The Lakers is type. This is before I even like I didn't have no favorite team, nothing. So I was just
Yeah,
up.
I actually never knew how you got into the Lakers, so I'm interested
Oh,
in the
yeah, like
story.
I'm saying. So like I was really like a little kid. My father never had a favorite team, or just whatever I found on the television. That's what I was watching. So like I always liked AI, but then like I seen Kobe play, and I was just like, nah, this guy is great. Like, he had like the fro at the time, or whatever. I was like, nah, this is different, because I had a fro and all that. I was like, nah, this is different. So then I was like, around that time was when I started paying attention to Kobe Bryant, and then ever since then, I was like, nah, I'm watching all of his games. Every time he came on, I was watching all his games, and I just became a Lakers fan that way. So to say, he made me a Lakers fan. So I wasn't a Lakers fan before that at all. I mean, I was still a little kid, but when I was able to actually like start playing basketball and um, paying attention to it and watching it all the time, it was always Lakers. So
Yeah.
Kobe player.
No, absolutely, bro. And I'll touch on something a little later. But so my first memory of Kobe, like you said, it's hard to pinpoint one exact moment. Like I can't really give you, cause bro, Kobe was winning chips as soon as we got out the womb for real. Like three peats. He three-peated right after we were born. So like I wasn't 2 months like, oh shit. Like, you know what I mean? But once I started getting older, first of all, my first sport that I based all my interests at the time, because I don't I got two sisters. I don't have any brothers. So I based all my interest off of my cousins. And every time I would go to my cousin's house, I'm trying like just sponge. I'm trying to be a sponge and get into anything that they're into. Um, You know what I mean? Because I never had, any type of brother figure. So they were into the Yankees. They were into Kobe Bryant. So naturally, that's exactly they were I'm sorry, Yankees and Lakers. So naturally, that's what I flocked to. And then when I walk in and I see pictures of Kobe on my cousin's walls, I'm like, okay, I guess Kobe's my favorite player too, because I just wanted to be my cousin. So bro, so that was my first, memory of Kobe, but me actually watching him play. And like I said, this one right here is not my first memory at all, but this is the first memory I can remember, really. And at this point I'm already like a Lakers fan, but I'm like, we're facing the so I'm this is my first real memory of Kobe when I'm like, all right, he's the one. But so it's 2009, so I'm always a little bit behind. So I'm 9 years old, right? And 2009, yeah, 2009, I believe. And all I remember is because Laker games, first of all, we always had to stay up super late, and we are on the East Coast. This is like the roughest thing ever, for real. Especially when you're 9, 10 years old and you're trying to convince your parents, yo, like, let me stay up. Like, I'd luckily never had a bedtime as a kid. Between Monday Night Raw and Laker games, those absolutely contributed to my insomnia growing up. Like it was those things that screwed me up. And George Lopez. Those were the three reasons. But anyways, so I remember the specific moment where I'm already a Lakers fan at this point, but for whatever reason, this is my first real memory of watching a Lakers game. I don't know what it is, but so it's the finals. We're facing the Celtics, 2009, and I remember I told my mom to watch the Lakers game with me. She's not into basketball at all, but my mom is slumped dead on the couch. Meanwhile, bro, Kobe's going crazy, and I'm just sitting up like, but I can't scream. I can't do none of that because my mom's right next to me and she's slumped out. So I'm just and it's just like, bro, like that was like really the first moment where I'm like, I don't know, man. It was like the most celebratory thing ever because it's the finals. I'm watching Kobe Bryant play, and that for whatever reason is like the first. Like I said, that wasn't my first time watching him play, but it was the for whatever reason the memory that just it yells at me every time. So that is one of my favorite memories of Kobe. It's not exactly my favorite. We're gonna cover that a little later, but that is absolutely one of the first memories I got of Kobe, and that's actually how I got into the Lakers. My cousins were big Laker fans, and I remember watching the games when we were absolutely trash. Two times actually. Before we got Powell, and then when it was the scrub ass Lakers with Dwight and Nash and all that. But yeah, man. So I remember just watching him go off, and it makes it a lot easier to be a Kobe fan when my favorite artist, Lil Wayne, is over here making Kobe songs. So now here I am reciting every lyric to that. Got it on my little MP3 players and my PSPs, and oh man. But yeah, those are my first few memories of Kobe Bryant for sure.
That's a fact. I remember that whole Lil Wayne era, and it's funny too because that's my favorite rapper as well, and like that whole connect, it just made sense to me. I was like, of course, goat and goat, of
go
course.
go and go, bro.
Great taste. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate greatness. I appreciate that they appreciate each other. So it just made sense. Like,
But yeah, and then I was in fifth grade when my cousin gave me all his hand-me-down jerseys. And one of those jerseys that I still got to this day. And luckily, first of all, when I was in fifth grade, they were oversized as shit. And luckily, I ain't grow that much. So they still fits me. But I got a number 8 Kobe Bryant jersey, authentic, you know what I mean? And that shit it feels so great just to have that for real. Because you know what I mean? Especially because it was bought in that era, in that time. It's not like a reproduced to any of that. So I was going. I got school pictures of me and Kobe Bryant, oversized to the knees. Oh man, but that it was always Kobe for me. It was always Kobe, and then seeing him on the cover of the video games growing up. Come on, bro. 2K10. All I did was play with Kobe Bryant.
facts, and that's a fact. 2K10 was nothing but Kobe Bryant, and like my only basketball games I've been to were Laker games. The first basketball game I've been to was a Kobe Bryant game in Barclays against the Nets. and that's one of like his historic games too, because that was when he was going on that crazy 17th year run. Um, and then he went to Brooklyn. He did that dunk on two people. I think it was like
I
Gerald Wallace and Brooke Lopez or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I was gonna see if you knew the second one because I remember, bro. I remember you at the game, and I remember you at the game, and I remember when that dunk happened, and we were texting back and forth talking about the shit because I was like, "Nah, Kobe just shitted on the rim. You kidding me?"
Bad, and we got the series W. That was a great game. And I was just like, all those experiences I've had watching Kobe Bryant, bro, has brought me nothing but just straight joy, bro, all the time.
Yeah, that's a perfect segue, bro. Because I really just want to talk about what it felt like watching him play. Because for me, man, um, we've experienced a few different like versions of Kobe Bryant. Like I said, I remember watching him just go off because he had to. Like his team was garbage. So I witnessed that, and at that point, I was just 100% like I didn't really know. I was young. I was 6, 7, 8 years old. So I didn't really know the intricacies of the game. All I know is I see somebody putting up 35 points, streaks of 40 points in a row. So what are you telling me, bro? He's the greatest. You know what I mean? Like I'm not looking at how many shot attempts he took. I'm not looking at how he makes his team better or anything like that. I'm looking at bro scored 40 points. You guys better put up 50 more, like match him. Like what y'all doing?
And it's crazy too, because that's exactly how I remember growing with Kobe. His reputation being that guy gets buckets. Like that's all I knew when I first started playing basketball myself. Like I was watching just so I could learn. And whenever I got to see the Lakers play, it was always just all right. The way he plays is I'm going to score the ball, like aggressive with it. Like I didn't even only other player I seen be like that was like Allen Iverson. Like I said, like he went and got it. He was a dog. But Kobe was like a different type of animal. Like he did it in so many different type of ways. He was versatile, and I knew all of rip. Like that's what skill was when I was watching him. Like I didn't know much about basketball. Again, like first, second grade, I'm like, okay, that's what basketball is. Like he has the basketball crowds at the professional highest level. That's what that is. So like I always held him at the higher standard ever since I started watching basketball for real. So like he was always like the gold standard, and the Lakers was always like the gold standard.
No, for real.
Even though like when I was growing up in that time period, we was type a little sucky, but like when I first started watching, we had just came off of a championship like a year before. So like it was like the Lakers were in an era and like it was like rebuilding, but like you still knew for that time period they ran the whole thing. So it was like being a Lakers fan was easy, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And then as the years came by, you really had to show some loyalty. But like I feel like once you fall in love with them, you're gonna be loyal regardless.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I honestly, when Kobe, when I was first starting to, I really kind of don't jack that I got fully into basketball until the first Lakers championship. Like I said, that moment when my mother was knocked out, that was the moment I started getting into basketball because I was like, this is an experience right here. Like it was like an out of body experience that day. That's why I think I remember it so vividly. You know, I mean, it's hard to remember things at
It was
nine
like
years
just
old.
the Magic.
No, that was the. Oh wait, yeah, was it the Magic? Yeah, because we honestly, I might be talking about a L. If you want me to be real, I might be talking about 2008 finals where we lost to the Celtics. But
The
we
Celtics.
definitely, that I'm pretty sure I'm talking about a game we won against the Celtics, but while we lost that series in 2008. But after, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah. No, no,
that's
we
2008,
won
2008, 2007,
2008
2008.
because yeah, it
Yeah.
depends on how you view the season. Yeah, 2008,
Yeah.
2008 because we won 2008, 2009, 2009, 2010. But.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that series, and we ended up losing. But I remember fully, the next year completely being into everything. Uh, Dwight Howard was like the second coming at that time, so we were kind of either seeing Dwight Howard or Bron James versus Kobe Bryant, and I was just anticipating the car crash that was going to be. But anyways, watching Kobe. So really, most of the times I saw him before that, though, I was just a sports casual because I'm young, so I just turned on Sports Center and I just watched that for hours upon hours. But like I said, I was missing a lot of the games because of how late it was, and I was 8 years old. You know what I mean? So all I see repeatedly though, it felt like every other week is a Kobe Bryant buzzer beater, And at that point, that was really was one of the things that cemented it for me because I was like, bro, this guy just he's a different type of dog. You know what I mean? Like he just
Different type of dog,
the
man.
buzzer beaters was one of my because when you're a kid, that was the moment for you. Like that was what solidified you as a great. Like, can you win the game? And so I specifically remember him watching that and just how clutch he was. And then I got to experience that when I started getting into it and see him close out games and see him go crazy against the Suns, go crazy against the Magic, the Celtics, whoever it was, Knicks. Every time he faced the Knicks, how much yo dog I'm up. But yeah. So watching him play, ultimately, when it came down to it, I seen so many like different levels of Kobe Bryant. Like I saw the straight score. That's what I grew up watching. And then I saw like the leader, the leader, the top dog, but okay, let me also feed my other guys when it came down to, getting Shannon Brown buckets, getting Trevor Ariza buckets, Ron Artest, Pau Gasol, Andrew Bynum. And then that's when I went from being a Kobe fan to a Lakers fan for real. So he kind of converted me in that sense. And then of course after that, even after we won a few championships, um, to watch how he was really aging gracefully, bro. Like yes, he had a ton of injuries, but he was aging gracefully as far as his game went. They kept saying, "Oh, Kobe's selfish. He's taking too many shots. He's ruining the locker room." And then I specifically remember, I mean, Lakers down bad in the dirt with Howard and Nash. Nash was blowing his back out, picking up some groceries from his local Walmart. And Kobe's like, "Nah, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna make the playoffs." But Kobe, how you gonna make the? We gonna make the playoffs. And what they do, bro? That was one of my favorite seasons ever watching Kobe Bryant play. I will stand by that. That is, I think, without a doubt, my favorite season of Kobe Bryant.
It's crazy you say that, bro, because like you said, seeing so many different versions of Kobe. Like he had like a long career, like as long as our like pretty much our lifetime at that point, like 20-year long career, like so it's just crazy to think. And then we've seen so many versions, and I feel like if you're a real Kobe Bryant fan and you really watched him up until his last bucket, that 17 season is just something different, bro. It really is, because it's like that season is when I really was confirmed, stamped. Nobody was telling me otherwise. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest player I ever seen play basketball. Because I was seeing things that I thought it was impossible, especially considering like how much miles he had under him and the pressure he had and the team he had around him. And he really just took the basketball and said, "I'm going to single-handedly." They say basketball is a team sport. He said, "I'm going to single-handedly get this team into the playoffs. Regardless of what my other teammates do, they still got to step up a little bit, but regardless of anything, I'm giving 45 minutes at least a night, and I'm giving everything I got, bro." It was probably the most amazing season I've ever seen from one player, by far.
Bro, yeah, no. And at that point, me and you were like close. We were super, super close. So we got to kind of experience that together.
That's a fact.
And you couldn't tell me nothing at that point. I was like 14, 15, 16. I was watching every Laker game. I was staying up till as late as I possibly can.
Staying up.
You couldn't tell me otherwise because Kobe Bryant was on television and he was willing his team to a win. And honestly, that's part of the reason why I feel like we got that. And I don't want to make it about this, but I feel like that's probably why we got that stigmatism of hating Dwight Howard in the beginning because we saw how much somebody was just legit dragging a team and willing a team, and then we saw somebody kind of giving no effort with Dwight and giving no effort with Steve Nash. Like I heard Steve Nash. Honestly, Kobe screwed me up to be honest with you because he made me look at injuries like it was nothing.
Bro, that's a factor, bro. And I grew up. All right, let's. This is what I gotta talk about too. I gotta talk about this, bro.
Go ahead.
Kobe's influence, bro, is probably like I don't even know how to rank him, but it's up there with MJ and all of them, bro. Because like MJ, he changed the game with like his swag and all that. But like Kobe, the Kobe era of kids, bro. If you really think about it, I feel like that's why this like young generation of NBA right now is so crazy because like they grew up on like crazy buckets. If you think about Kobe Bryant, bro, I was like a elementary kid trying to shoot fadeaways. Had no business learning how to do turnaround fadeaways, but that's what I was one of the first moves I tried to learn how to do because that's what I saw Kobe doing all the time. Like the same way kids is pulling from deep because they see Steph Curry nowadays. Like Kobe had his kids, so it's like it's really
Real,
crazy.
real quick, bro. I don't want to cut you off. I do want you to finish your point. I ain't realized how hard fadeaways was. I was a kid, bro, and I was doing fadeaways like you said with no skill. I still got no skill. I still can't do no fucking fadeaway. Are you kidding me? But anyways, bro, I was trying to shoot fadeaways before I knew how to shoot a jump shot. It
That's a
was so ass backwards. But bro, I was like, Kobe does it. What you mean? If somebody ever took a video of me at that age taking a fadeaway, it probably just looks legit like like heaving the ball. But yeah, I didn't realize how hard fadeaways was. That's a great point.
yeah, nah, for real. So that just shows how crazy his influence was for real. So it's like I don't know, man. Just to me, he was really the gold standard since I was a kid. But like up until that 17th season, I felt like it was a gray area or gray period where he wasn't really getting his flowers like that, bro. Not like I felt like he deserved. But it's like it was something you couldn't not notice because you know what I'm saying they gave him the name Vino and all that because he was like getting better as he aged. Like you know what I'm saying, like that was the storyline at the moment. But it's like as soon as he went down, I feel like everybody just kind of forgot about it. Like it's not as I feel like it's not as celebrated as it should be, like that season in particular. And I feel like a lot of stuff before that too, just like the player he was in general, I feel like it got judged a lot and critiqued a lot because it's like you got to find holes in something. And it's that thing that I feel like a lot of analysts and stuff try to do with comparing. And he obviously always got compared to MJ, but once he got to a certain point and you know certain things happened, now he started getting compared to LeBron a lot, and they're in the league at the same time. So there's not a lot of times in the league where two guys can share that one spotlight that the league tries to shed on them. So I feel like a lot of the time, towards the later years of Kobe Bryant, he wasn't really getting the attention he deserved, and it's like, bro, he literally put a team on his back and carried them to the finish line in the fashion we're probably never gonna see again ever in basketball.
No, and I truly think, bro, because of Kobe Bryant, because of watching him do exactly what he did, I think that is why I'm such a big fan currently of Damian Lillard. Because I see shades of somebody willing his team to the playoffs from the get every time. Like Damian Lillard will go ahead and we need 50. Okay, I guess I got to lace up my boots and get 50. Like, so as far as that Kobe season goes, that was just like watching that, especially being that converted me to like an avid fan because at that point we had so much hype going into that year. It was like that year was meant to be in David Stern's perfect little world. Oh, and I want to talk about that CP3 trade real quick after this. But in David Stern's perfect little world, that was the Heat versus Lakers, Kobe versus Bron, the big three versus the big three. Like that was what they were setting up for. And due to a bunch of different circumstances with injuries, we couldn't get that. Dwight wasn't the same Dwight he was. Steve Nash wasn't the same Nash he was. And as the point I was trying to get to before was Kobe made me view injuries as like a scratch and a bruise. And you know what I mean? He's like, oh yeah, this finger can't move. This finger's dislocated. This finger broke 3 times. Like, and he just, let me just wrap it up. like bro, so when I get a report and it says Steve Nash is out for X amount of months from straining his back and some
Still
stupid shit,
carrying bags, bro.
I'm carrying bags. I'm like, bro, Kobe's been carrying the team. What are you talking about? Like, tight as hell. Like, I'm like, bro, if you don't suit up and play, Dwight Howard, I don't care about your back. Suit up and play. Like, do you see what Kobe is doing? Ankle sprains, whatever, dislocations, whatever. I tore my rotator cuff. Okay, I got a left hand. Like,
I got
it's ridiculous, bro. So, like, Kobe really taught me for real that like injuries is screwed up to say, but like he taught me as a kid, like injuries is just like in your head. So here I am, like I sprained my ankle on the court. I'm like, Kobe Bryant, I got this. I'm trying to walk it off and finish the session, bro. Like I shouldn't probably just sit down. But yeah,
That
man,
influence.
the influence is it was always real, and he was a pop culture icon. You know what I mean? Like we were the generation when they say that kids were were shooting paper balls in the trash and saying Kobe. That was us. We were
Lit-
we are those kids. You know what I mean? Like I'm in fourth grade again trying to do a fadeaway, missing completely, but I'm saying Kobe. Like it was ingrained in me. What you want me to say? But watching Kobe age at that point, it was incredible. Especially him killing that whole "I can't pass" narrative. Like he legit proved to me if he
He been
wanted.
killed, bro. Before that season two, he been killed that narrative to me. And I was, bro. I was used to be in school at the breakfast and lunch table, really
Let's say it was
screaming, stomping on the bro on the table, all that. Like, no, y'all not hearing me. I used to jack all the time. I had all the stats. Kobe Bryant used to lead the league in assists for
the
shooting guard
shooting guards.
for like 3 years up until that point too. So it doesn't even make sense, bro. I never understood that narrative. That's like another point where I was like, yo, he used to get critiqued so much, and he used to like pick on everything just because, like, all right, people might see a couple of highlights of when it's time to take a shot. He don't care if there's 2 or 3 people on him. He's taking it. He don't give a fuck. So it's like people say that and be like, all right, he's selfish or he's a ball hog because he'll get 80, he'll get 60, and sometimes he'll take the last shot and he don't give a fuck what the circumstances is. So it's like you call that selfish, but I see unguardable, smart because who would you rather take in the last shot or like a game to find a shot? The guy who's getting paid the big dollars or Danny Green? But that's you know what I'm saying. That's just me though.
No, right, and again, that's why we had a rivalry with Braun. Like as kids, we didn't like Braun because he was. I never understood the Braun Kobe comparisons to begin with.
I never understood it, bro. It's naturally like basketball. I guess you just gotta compare, but they just always just it was always dumb, and it's like, come on, now, y'all making me hate him for what?
Exactly. Like, bro, I sent you a video. It was either today, yesterday, 2 days ago, and it was Braun tearing it up as a member of the Heat. And I told you, I was like, bro, we were hating on this, and it was cause the media, the fans, everybody was putting Kobe against Braun. And when it came down to it, I was a Kobe fan, so I'm watching Braun do these things, and Braun is a completely different prototype of a player. He's a point guard essentially. He's always been a point guard, and that was his thing. And I'm over here watching Bron pass up these shots or miss these shots, and I'm like, Kobe wouldn't have done
Kobe would never.
that. Kobe
It's
wouldn't. So that bred a natural born, hate over it, and I'm so glad that we were able to rid that from our system. Um, but yeah, that narrative was he officially like killed that narrative. Like at that point, you can't tell me otherwise. Because if so, I'm just gonna call you uninformed and to check the tape. Because bro was feeding
uninformed. You do
dime
not watch
bags.
basketball. You don't watch basketball. You
Yeah.
cannot say anything about Kobe Bryant not being a good passer or self. You can't say none of that, bro. I don't hear none of that.
And not only that, like that's something we haven't talked about too. I I didn't defense is my favorite part of the game now. When I was younger, I was all into somebody scoring though.
Don't even get me started with defense, bro.
Now that I'm older and I look back at all these games, and I vaguely remember it then too, because I always just wanted to consider Kobe Bryant the best at everything. But Bo was really locked down, like bad.
All defense like 9 times, bro.
Like you don't get that, bro. Like you don't get that. He could pick you up from 94. He can take the best assignment. It did not matter. Like he was
But bro,
really
if
the
the
one
NBA really wanted to, they could have decorated him crazy with mad
with
MVPs,
jewelry.
mad different records as they, bro. They could have given him the Braun treatment, but they didn't. But they gave Braun the Braun treatment, and that's why people compare him to like Kobe, Jordan, and all. It don't make no sense when he's really like a Magic Johnson.
Yeah, no. So that was I hated that. I spent so many years of my life hating LeBron James, but it was all because of Kobe's excellence, for real. It was all because of Kobe's excellence.
Yeah,
It was just Kobe was my goat. Kobe was absolutely my goal. Like even the whole, growing up, we also got to witness the Kobe MJ argument. And I ain't see fucking MJ play. I saw Kobe Bryant play. So I'm going Jack 100% that this man that I'm witnessing would have tore Michael Jordan the hell up. So that was me then.
I
Shit,
never had a
that's
doubt
me
about
now.
that.
I never did.
I had a doubt about it. I was like, I have my own eyes. I'm watching myself. There's no way you can go back in time and tell me somebody's better than that.
I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Still to this day, and maybe I'm just clouded. Still to this day, you cannot tell me that somebody is a better player than Kobe Bryant.
Only person I could argue is like Kevin Durant, just because of just freakish
Yeah,
circumstances.
he's a unicorn. If you were to put them one on one, KD might get it because the height of KD. But when it comes down to it, I can give you a whole I could give you a dissertation on why Kobe Bryant's still better.
Yeah, bro. Like when it comes to like the whole game situation, bro, he's just like when you talk about most valuable, he might be the most valuable player of all time.
And that was, bro. He should have won an MVP that year. To be honest with you, the 2013 year.
Bro, like, come on, son. That's
If
probably
you
the most heroic thing I've ever seen in
if
basketball.
you want to break down the word valuable, bro, I've witnessed that team with him there and that team without him there. I was 100% convinced, bro, when we were going to make the playoffs, no team wanted to see us.
No team wanted this the way we was playing, bro.
We would have done them. I still think we would have gave them some real competition.
It would have been comp for sure. For sure.
Somebody might have got done, and I would have. Oh my god, it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad, and especially at that time, I want to start talking about his final years as a player. Um, Especially at that time, bro. I had never heard of an Achilles injury,
Ever.
so I didn't know the severity of it. Nothing, and I'm so used to Kobe Bryant just taping some shit up and getting right back out there. They said Achilles injury. I was like, all right, will he be good for the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe round a couple games in round one he'll be back. But bro, what I'm thinking is because I remember that game, bro. I remember that game like it was yesterday. Because it was another late game. Played the Warriors, right? Whatever ever happened, we win the game and we're going to the playoffs. But then everybody's wondering about Kobe. What happened? I'm thinking it's like some ankle situation, whatever. Because Bull walked off the court, like you know what I'm saying. So it can't be that bad. Everybody like it can't be that bad, right? It's Kobe, right? They go back in with the cameras. I see this man like basically like tearing up, crying. First time I ever seen that on some real like actual like pain type shit. So I'm like, yo, like this is different. Like that's when I remember being shook. Like, oh nah. Like I start remembering his age. I'm like, nah. Like this can't. Like I'm starting to think like, yo, is this gonna be the last time you ever played a game? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was actually scary, and I think that's what he was type thinking about too. Like, is this the end of my career? Because I mean, I'm sure he knows at that state in his career what an Achilles is and like how impactful it is on the body. So I know all that's going on in his head, and I'm seeing it emotionally on his face. I'm just like, damn, like I'm gonna being sad, even though like we made the playoffs and all that. But like now I'm like, yo, this is like can make anybody cry for real. Like this guy just really just gave his heart and his soul, his blood, his tears, all on the court, and then just to have all that snatched away from him on like the last game, basically, like
Yeah,
it was just like a surreal feeling.
yeah, man. I wasn't. Were you up for that game? Like you saw it live?
I was up, bro.
So me, it was two West Coast teams. So it was obviously Warriors, and it happened late. So
Real
I'm
10:30 game.
yeah, I'm almost positive I was absolutely knocked that day, and yeah, I had to be knocked. I had to be knocked, or I fell asleep like once again thinking it was a scratch and nothing more. But I remember getting the update in the morning, and whether it was notification on my phone or however I found out. But I remember seeing Kobe Bryant tears his Achilles, and in general, at this point in my life, I know that tears ain't good. Like, especially in the lower body. Like I seen him, like I said, mess up all his fingers, and at that point, if he was to mess up a finger, I would think nothing of it because I seen him just fight through everything. So I see tears Achilles. Now here I am, 14, whatever age I am, WebMD and everything, trying to figure out the recovery time. And this was Kobe Bryant was a superhero to me. And he was an absolute superhero to me. And I never seen him really go down for real. I seen him, get a few bumps, break his nose and wear the mask and a whole bunch of different things. But I never saw him go down. So to see that, like, all right, Kobe Bryant is down, he's out, no playoffs, probably won't see the next season. Then I hear all the Dominique. For whatever reason, all they compared it to was Dominique Wilkins. Has anybody else fucking experienced the injury? And I was like, it's been 30 years. Like nobody experienced this shit. And they keep saying, oh, Dominique was never the same after this, or so and so was never the same after this. And I'm just like, he's Kobe Bryant though. You know what I mean? He's gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay. And like you said, like you saw the interviews and you saw all the feedback, after just saying that this is the toughest thing to conquer. And then he comes back and it's just Kobe Bryant. So at this point, bro, he wasn't the best shell of himself at all. It just felt good to watch Kobe Bryant play though.
Did
It
he get hurt again?
Yeah, yeah. He did end up getting hurt. I don't really remember what the following injuries were.
It was either like a knee or a shoulder or something like that again.
It might have been a knee. I wonder if it was a
I
meniscus.
feel like I think like knee and Achilles injuries are always like tied to each other. Like you get one after the other.
Let me see if I can pull up just so I can really conquer. Yeah, I've discussed how many injuries he got. Kobe Bryant's NBA history throughout the years, bro. This list. Let me actually see if I can get this on my computer. Give me 1 second. Let me use my Googles real quick, bro.
And
But yeah,
he
man.
definitely
Go ahead. Go. My fault.
missed that following season, and then he came back. I'm pretty sure he got hurt that like the season after that, and then like the next season was just like a farewell season. Like he's like, I'm just gonna bow out this season
Yeah, I'm gonna
because like
put up.
his body really just got beat up at that point. Like he can't even like do anything that he wants to do. So
Yeah, I want to put up a graphic of They got a picture with all his injuries. I'm just waiting for the John to load.
the man type been through some injuries, even younger too. Like he had wrists, I think,
Yeah,
wrist,
nah.
fingers.
This gives you everything in depth. You see it?
Yeah, I see that, John.
Okay, let me see if I can zoom out because
He
that's
got
how that
viral infection.
that's how much this is, bro. Let me see. I'm gonna have to zoom out because this is a long list, man. Making
Strain.
it hella slow.
That's early.
These are
Fractured knee, 13, 14.
It could be that. Damn, I gotta go this low. Damn, Kobe, bro. Even okay, all right. So, all right, damn, I gotta zoom out one more time. Shit, bro took it like a goddamn champ. Let me say that.
Hey,
All
that
right,
shit.
so I ain't zooming out again. But bro, look at this history. I mean, look at this history of injuries, man. Knee surgery, sprained ankle, severe sprain. 13, 14 was the Achilles injury. Let me see the 13, 14 fractured knee. And this that's how many games he missed next to everything. So he missed how many with the Achilles injury? Technically only 19. Damn, he recovered that quick?
That's cat.
No way, right?
That's cat, bro.
Did he recover it all in the off
He
season and
played,
only
he
met?
played the whole next season. I think he
Oh
played
wait,
like
okay, hold on. No,
the
the
season.
torn Achilles tendon, Achilles surgery. So no, they saying in the year 13, 14, he only missed 19 games. That's a quick ass turnaround, bro.
I'm jacking that's cap though.
I'm jacking that's not cap, to be honest with
I'm
you.
jacking that's cap, bro.
That sounds like Kobe, bro.
If that's the case, if he came back 13, 14, bro, then he got the knee surgery. He got the knee injury right after, probably.
Yeah, that might have definitely been what it was because the fractured knee kept him out for 39 games.
Because I'm telling you, if you like look at the stats, I'm pretty sure he only played like 10 games that season, probably less.
Yeah. This is. I wonder if that might have been the. I wonder if that's the lockout season by any chance. I wonder if that would explain anything. It might be lockout season. Was 13 the lockout season?
13, it might be, bro. 13, 14, I think so.
The, no,
That's when Brown won his John. I
yeah.
think
Looks
13,
like it looks like
14.
it looks like 2011. Looks like 2011 on the maps. I don't know. Anyways, this is
Oh,
just
2011 was the lockout year for sure, I think.
yeah. All I know,
League-
bro. All I know, bro, is you look at this the wear and tear he put on his body, bro. He wore finger braces, knee braces. I remember when he got older. I remember seeing him on the side of the on the sidelines, ice packs all around him, looking like a goddamn Michelin man. Like, and this is why I still to this day like I see some NBA players and I'm like, you're not playing because of a sore knee. Are you kidding me, bro? This is a big game. Get out there, like, and it's bad. I'm gonna be honest. It's a bad mindset because maybe if Kobe didn't play with all these injuries, he could have preserved another few games, another few years on his career. But at the end of the day,
I don't know about that one, bro, because he had like what 20 years, and yeah, like it eventually like gave out. But I feel like once you once the first like Jenga piece comes out, you know what I'm saying, it's easy for other ones to just slip out. So it's like I feel like a lot of that was just like it was just unfortunate timing, but he did get 20 long years, so it's not like he really had. You know what I'm saying? It's not like doing all that and giving your all really shortened him in any way. He had probably one of the longest careers in NBA history.
no, yeah, no, that's definitely facts. I don't know, man. Just honestly, the injuries made him who he was to me. The
Yeah,
injuries made him Kobe Bryant. Like that just to me, that even more that legacized. I don't think that's a word, but that just like cemented his legacy even more for me. Like it just created, like I said, he was my superhero. So it made him like, bro, it's a myth. Like these injuries are myths. Like it's Kobe Bryant. That's why when I saw him go down with the Achilles, I was just like, nah, he could wrap that up. I'm sure they got to be a way. If there's a way, Kobe's gonna find it. But yeah, man. So those years after were very tough as Laker fans, but at the same time, man, for me that was when I like really dove headfirst into Lakers basketball, and I was really going crazy. And I went from being a super, a Lakers fan to a super Lakers fan, and I was watching every game. I saw D'Lo's ups, D'Lo's downs, Julius Randle getting drafted, all of it, man. And that really kind of just made me cherish the Lakers as a whole because I had to watch a bunch of scrubs and not just watch Kobe bail him out for so long. You know what I mean? But
100. And to speak a little more on Kobe's influence, man's really he made the Achilles injury fire.
he got a hat, right? I feel like everybody went down with it.
I've never seen it before. That not everybody want to tear their Achilles. Okay.
It's the Kobe influence, bro. We get it sounds messed up. We get Achilles injuries it seems like two every year at this point. I never even heard of it until Kobe.
That's a fact, though. That's a fact.
So yeah, no, I hate to say it, but I guess now that's the Kobe injury. That sucks. But real quick before we could talk about Kobe's last game and how that momentous that was, I do want to cover David Stern and that veto of a trade. That if that would have never happened, bro, the conversation might have been completely different.
There's a lot of things that could have happened where the conversation would have been different, bro. It is that's another thing that's so frustrating about being a Kobe Bryant fan, bro. It's just we see all the obstacles and all the barricades and everything that just gets pushed in front of this man. Like we see all of it, bro. So it's just like vouching for him is probably the most exhausting thing of all time. Like literally, we see the David Stern situation, bro. It's still to this day. I mean, I've read some things where it's like I get it, but no, I don't get it because that's the only situation where I ever seen that happen ever. Cause what Chris Paul still moved around.
Yeah, he ended up still getting traded to the Clippers. I want to know what was that final fucking Clippers trade actually, cause that was some
Yeah,
bull crap, man.
bro, some real bull. And the thing is, I read something about like how they didn't want to trade Chris Paul because like he was the only asset they had on the Hornets for them to sell the team. But
You want to hear this trade, bro? It was for Eric Gordon, Chris Kaman, Al Farouk Aminu, and a first round pick.
Chris Paul to
Clippers. For
wow,
Eric Gordon, Chris Kaman, Al Farouk Aminu, and one first round pick.
we was about to give him Powell, Lamar.
Compared to what would have been, let me see if I can get all the assets. Because it was Rockets. Rockets were in it. Okay, so Hornets would have got Goran Dragic, Kevin Martin, Luis Scola, and a first round pick. And then Rockets were the ones. Damn, how Rockets get Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom? Wow. But even that, bro, Goran Dragic ended up being more fire than Eric Gordon. Kevin Martin at the time was a bucket. He was a bucket. He was like that. Luis Scola was nice. Luis Scola used to be nice, bro. And the first round pick. That the first round pick was also the Knicks, who were dumb trash. I'm sick still to this day, man.
They agreed to our trade though, because it's a good trade. They agreed to it. It got signed off on everything. They was just packing their bags.
Facts. The league didn't agree to it, bro. What type of? Oh man. What
It
what
still don't make no sense, bro.
what would have happened if now, bro? Now seeing the greatness of CP3, what would have happened if CP3 played with Kobe Bryant? First of all, it would have been lockup. It would have been lockup. We still would have kept Bynum, who at that time was going crazy. We had our test, bro. It would have been bad. You were talking about Kobe, CP3, our test, some four. I'm sure we could have found somebody and Bynum. It would have been bad, man. Ah, damn.
All I can do is shake my head because of the words I actually want to say. I can't say because Bo really baited and died. So like I can't even disrespect Stern like I want to.
No, no, I absolutely hear you. That's not what we came here to do, but for sure, if I would have seen CP3 and Kobe Bryant ball next to each other, first of all, CP3, I'm telling you right now, he would have had his jersey. AD would not be able to wear 3 if CP3 would have came, because that jersey would have been hung up. It would have been retired because I'm talking about championships. I'm talking about conference finals. I'm talking about all-star appearances. He could have maybe preserved Kobe's career even longer than what it was, saved him from a few injuries because he was taking the goddamn load off that Dwight Howard, Steve Nash could not do.
But I'm really tight. Kobe is not gonna get the chance to have his Michael Jordan Hall of Fame acceptance speech, where he tells everybody to hold his man's like.
Bro, he would have killed that too. You kidding me, Kobe Bryant? It would have been hilarious. It would have been everything. Yeah. All right. It all hurts, bro. It still hurts to this day. And then let's talk about his final game. Who goes out like that, bro?
I was just watching it like yesterday or the day before. I was watching it recently, like, and watching it every time it's so surreal. Like it's just like a movie. It seems like a movie's on the screen. Like it's like somebody wrote that up in a play or something. Like it don't happen like that in real life, bro.
That was so Derek Jeter and Kobe Bryant were my two favorite athletes because I grew up a Yankees fan. And Derek Jeter, his career was very movie like as well. 3,000 hit was a home run. His final game, I'm pretty sure his final regular season game was a walk off. Like it's just sports are the closest thing we can get to movies. To be honest, I wish you. And the way Kobe Bryant ended his career it was like what you would see in a fucking Disney movie, bro. Like you don't see, especially it's bro, the way it started too, just him bricking everything. Him bricking everything in the beginning to turn it around and go absolutely nuts. And it was like he took 50 shots that game. Sure, I don't even care. His percentage was all right too. I think he made what 24 out of 50. He was 48%.
It
Hold
was
mine.
yeah,
Hold,
it's so like he's gonna take a lot of shots. But
hold mine, bro. 48% is a good percentage. I'm not hearing nothing. I'm over here seeing a bunch of these fake ass stars shoot 40%, and y'all regarding them as gods. Anyways, um, yeah. So watching him just start off, a little bit dry, and then him come around and just start going crazy, and it's like, bro, Kobe might get 30 on his way out. Kobe might get 40 on his way out. No way. Kobe's not going for 50. And then the Bull ends up with 60 points, a game winner. Like, come on, man. Everybody in attendance, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Rihanna, Kanye,
that's what
George
made it
Lopez,
magical.
Nicholson.
Everybody really showed up for ball. Like that's what made it so magical. It's like everybody was just there to celebrate Kobe, but like at the same time, it was a game and it was supposed to be competitive. And like every time I watch, I'm always paying attention. Like, yo, they was really trying to guard him. Like they really was trying to lock him up. And it's like because they was playing for their season too. Like they was trying to go to the playoffs. If they had beat us, they would have went to the playoffs. So they had no reason to bullshit out at all out there. So it's like really watching that and then everybody going crazy and those last few minutes where he's going on a stretch of scoring like 12 in a row and it's just like bro how is this even possible and he's really like he's pulling from three going up people's chests like he's pulling out everything in his bag like it's just like bro it was just so great to watch and it's like to end it at the free throw line. I'm pretty sure he got his first points at the free throw line too and it's like
Honestly, I didn't even think about that symbolism. First points at the free throw line. The Achilles is the clip you see is him shooting the free throws. The clip you see is him shooting the free throws with a torn Achilles. It was just like I don't know why that says a lot for me. The free
that's
throw line.
that's that's always said a lot for me and that's one thing I said um last year, you know, after everything happened and they had the All-Star game dedicated to him and then they had the whole format change up. Shout out to Adam Silver, that was fire. They had the whole format change up for the All-Star game and then people was, you know, that was whack. It ended on a free throw, but I was like, you know what? That's actually type crazy because like it ended on a free throw from Anthony Davis, like
A Laker.
a Laker, a free throw. Like it just everything was just
It
all
writes
the
itself.
all the symbolism throughout this past year has been crazy. It just it's we feel like we keep seeing him everywhere, and it's like he's around still, like his basketball energy, like at least within the NBA, and you know his fans and all that is still there. You know,
Yeah, man. And we're running a little long on time. I don't really honestly want to even talk about the anything that happened on January 26th. I would like to do my most to forget it, truthfully. So I do not want to tap into any of that. Um, I want to end it with all the memories the man provided for us. Do you have one specific one you can recall, tap into, and say, this is my favorite memory of Kobe Bryant? Or maybe it's two that you got tied, or whatever the case may be.
I'm just gonna say the John where I saw him in person because that was just like a different experience, just as a whole. Like going there, seeing him warm up, seeing how tall he is in person. Like I had good seats too. Like so, I was like I saw kind of close to him and the performance he had on my favorite season of his in the 17th season, when like I knew leading up to it that he's been going off crazy, and you know seeing one of his top highlight dunks in person, like that's just a crazy moment amongst all Brooklyn Nets fans. I'm the only one there with a Lakers jersey. I'm not the only one there though, because you know there's a lot of Lakers fans.
We run deep. We run in packs.
You run deep, and we come to see one man. So we pull up, see Kobe, and I'm there amongst mad Brooklyn fans screaming hard. They're all looking at me crazy, but they can't say nothing because my man's just cooking your ass badly. Like, look at the scoreboard. So that's definitely one of my favorite moments because like that's when I was really like top tier proud Laker fan. Like I'm in the building in Brooklyn. Like yeah, my man's just cooked y'all. Like, and it's like that too.
So I got super lucky, and I was able to go to the first Kobe Bryant game after he announced his retirement. Um, this is this is I think my favorite memory of Kobe Bryant. It's the one that, like I said, I was there. I got to experience it. So I don't remember how I got the tickets. I don't know if I honestly think that once he announced his retirement, that my parents made sure that I got to see him because I never got to actually see him live. They got me Laker tickets before, but it was a thing of he was injured. So I never got to actually witness him live. So I got lucky and I was able to grab the tickets, and high up as hell. It was super high up. Didn't matter at all. Um, so it was 76ers back when they might have been trash. I don't remember all the details. All I remember is just announced his retirement. It's in Philadelphia, PA. So of course, Philly born. They give him a nice tribute, like as every team did. Um, and he goes head, and as soon as the ball is tipped up, he drains. It was either 3 out of 4 threes in a row or 4 out of 5, something crazy. But he came out of the gate like gunning, bro. And I'm talking about logo threes. Like it was Kobe Bryant acting up. Like he came out shooting, bro, with a strap on him. And we're in Philadelphia, and all of a sudden you hear MVP, MVP. And I get to take part in an MVP chant towards Kobe Bryant in his final season.
Mhm.
That, bro, like, I'm getting like emotional just thinking about it now for real, because that was everything to me to be able to do
Everything.
that, to be able to just like I said, my superhero, my icon, and to kind of just like let him know that's what you are, bro. You're MVP.
That's a great point, bro. That's exactly what it feels like.
So by far, and we ended up losing that game. Doesn't even fucking matter. Doesn't even matter. I was able to watch Kobe Bryant play, and Kobe Bryant, more importantly, take a shit out of the players. You was getting fucked up by Kobe Bryant in his final year. Done bad. Oh man, all time moment for me. And yeah, I think that's a perfect note to end it on for real. Matt, do you got any final words?
Can't believe it's been a year, man. It's been a long year, and it's good that we can come to a place of just celebrating his life, his legacy. Because he left a great one, bro. And honestly, we hate the way it happened, but at least we got to witness him as a person, him as a player. I think the world just needed his presence in general. So RP Bean, RP GG. Um, miss y'all crazy.
Thanks, man. I'm telling you right now, Gianna Bryant was gonna have me watching WNBA.
For sure,
I would
bro.
have been tuned into every game, man.
For
And
sure.
honestly, that's something that we didn't talk about. But as I get older and I get older and older into adulthood, so I actually, my fault, I kind of pump faked, and now I'm talking into a little other segment. But Kobe loves pump fake, so fuck it. But yeah, man, as I was able to like really cherish Kobe, and watching LeBron, and it's screwed up to say, I don't want to keep throwing his name in there, but watching LeBron in Laker jersey in that 2019 season, um, it made me really admire. It made me refresh my admiration for Kobe Bryant, and it really made me appreciate him. And the day he passed away, I was actually looking at highlights of Kobe Bryant, and legit. I tell the story often too. I looked at my girl and I was like, yo, I miss watching him play. And it happened to be the same night that he passed away, same day he passed away. Luckily, I was off of work, so I really got to just sulk in my fucking tears and sorrow for that. But point is, I grew up, and I started really admiring Kobe as a person. Um, I was admiring his life after retirement, whether it was in the short film realm, in the book realm, and just being a dad and being a coach and all these other things. So he just really start. I fell in love with Kobe Bryant, the player, already. That already happened.
Were we watching his interviews before he passed away, or
Before he passed away.
before, bro? And that's I remember because we was like, yo, this guy is like the greatest thing of all time. Like screw basketball, like he's like genuinely great, like a person. Like he's special, skilled. Like he had like 4 different languages on him. Could play instruments. Like he was like that, but like he was just so like just gifted as a person. It was just like to see the trajectory he was at so early in his post basketball career. It was just like, yo, this guy really just embodies greatness.
Yeah, and not only that, bro. Like he said it. I don't know if I've seen so many different Kobe Bryant interviews. I know the one we sat down was it was I wanted it was themed around a certain length of time, so it might have been called 60 minutes or 40 something minutes or whatever the case is. But he had one interview and he said I was never the tallest, I was never the quickest, I never jumped the highest, I never was any of this. Like I wasn't gifted to those extremes, but what I was going to be the most skilled, and I was going to be the hardest worker, and I was going to be the most dedicated, because that's something that isn't given to somebody. That's something that you can only earn, that you can only gain. And little things like that, little gems like that, growing older, man. Um, in whatever, and I hate when people. I obviously love Mamba mentality, but I hate when people like bring it up as almost like a joke, like not necessarily a joke, but like as like reasons for things. Oh, Mamba mentality, like no, like it's a little deeper than that. Like he really lived and breathed. Like this shit was in his blood for real. So his mentality in general just kind of paved the way for me to like just not be able to make any fucking excuses.
100%.
Any excuses at all. So, and even little things like not little things. I'm sorry, but little things as me getting older, and you know, I'm knocking on the door in a few years. I plan to have my own kids. You know what I mean? And he's watching him be a father, and him as guys, bro. At least for me, like it was so scary to think of me ever raising a girl. Um, it was always like I always wanted a boy first, at least, so like I could have some muscle. You know what I mean? To because I don't know, the idea of raising a girl scared me, but the way I hear him talked about raising his daughters and his relationship with his daughters, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like I'm so excited to have a little baby girl. I'm so excited to grow up. He makes me so excited to just take on the day, because at the end of the day, if there's a will, there's a way, and it's all about finding that will and paving your way. So, Kobe Bryant, you taught me everything I needed everything I needed from you on your years on this earth. I don't need to learn anything more um, from you. You done your job for me. And with that being said, R.I.P. Kobe, R.I.P. Gigi, R.I.P. to everybody else on that plane. Condolences to the families. um I could only imagine, because this I act like I know Kobe Bryant because the way the shit hit me. I was crying for days, man,
For days, bro.
for days. And tomorrow comes, I probably might have to one more time. But at the end of the day, I just want to give my condolences and say that I just want to thank you. Your legacy is cemented in my heart, in my eye, in my brain, in my whole body forever, man. So R.I.P. Kobe, R.I.P. Gigi. And with that being said, Mamba out. I'll take my time, just a crush girl fall in line. Don't care what the rumor be, cause I'm my best, she only lie. If this ever ruin me, I pray I die with dollar signs. I feel like I'm Kobe Bean, I'm 21 and in my prime.